Hey ho, what's up everybody? Welcome to the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell, bringing you the good times in music, fashion, pop culture, and entertainment. We got a great show for you guys today. I'm super excited. We've got Steve Bacic coming on the show. He's one of the first celebrities I ever met at a convention when I was a clothing designer. And then we have Stefano Langone from American Idol. It's going to be a lot of fun. Before we get started, though, let's say hi to everybody, starting off with my cool, outrageous man about town co-host, Mr. Ron Russell.
I'm tired. Don't bother me. Listen, my voice is gone. I'm exhausted. Put that data boy. I cannot do this any longer. These drives into Los Angeles from Palm Springs, they devastate me for days. You know, Sunday we went in for Jen's party, excuse me, birthday party. Last night dinner with friends
for Eileen's birthday party.
Driving home, getting home at 3:00 in the morning. You know, when I was a young man at, I'd say 19 or 20, I worked as a hairdresser 3 days a week in a wonderful salon in Manhattan. And Saturday, I would work all day long in the salon. Then I would go out with my friends to get something to eat. And then we'd go to a gay bar or a straight bar or whatever bar. And we'd party all until like 4 in the morning, because in New York, they're after hours. Then go home, take a shower, and get back to work at 8:00 to do your first setting, your first setting of hair. Now, I think I would drop dead if I had to do that. I don't know. When your youth is really wasted on the young, because we old bags, we could use some of that youth. Don't you agree with that?
So
it really stinks when you get to be my age, which is 50 again, and you just can't do it. I'm exhausted right now. I could fall asleep on the set while I'm doing the show.
We're happy though. So
no, I could really go to. I'm not lying. So I hope our guests talk a lot.
They will,
because I'm not really very
anyway,
energetic.
Let's talk to the chat room. There's lots of people in the chat room.
Who's in the chat room?
So what's up, chat room? First of all, thank you, B. These are new glasses. So she likes my glasses. They like your hair. They like our outfits.
Oh, my hair. Let's talk about my hair. I start to shoot next week, Clowney, the movie Clowney, and I play a grandfather. And my producer said to me, Ron, could you please look like a grandfather? Because I guess he didn't want me with my wild hair and my crazy clothes. So I have to look like a conservative, waspy sort of a grandfather. And I comb my hair back, but it doesn't stay down. It gets like a bouffant. So look at it. I had this slick down to my head. Now I look like, Elizabeth Taylor was teased up.
So you guys, my eye is doing much better, as you can see, and Ron's finger is doing better.
I'm going to give him another one on the other side because I really miss his black eye.
And we want to say hi. So Teresa Sabin says you look very handsome. Teresa Sabin's in the chat room. B. Claudia from Germany's in the chat room. Lady Lake Music from Florida. Angela Joseph, Angie baby.
Baby Angie, when are you coming?
In the chat room.
Wait, when are you coming to town? Cut the shit, Angie. You abandoned us. I don't understand you. What kind of friend are you? You never come to visit.
Thomas Claxton just joined us in the chat room. Stefan Bell is in the chat room.
Hey,
Steffi. She says you're a hip grandfather. And
no, but I'm not supposed to play a hip grandfather. I'm supposed to play like, my grandson has a doll, and the doll is magic, and the doll takes us over a bridge to a world where animals talk. It's a wonderful kid movie. It's coming out at Christmas time, and
next year.
And I love playing it because it's a sweet movie. It's not it's a wonderful. I love the script.
So what's up?
It's a wonderful script.
Backpack John is there, and just so you know, Angela. So Ron and I were moving a couch last week, and the couch, I pushed it up against the wall to try to get it all the way against the wall, and it snapped back from the wall and hit me in the eye. And then when it did that, I pushed it against the wall, and when I pushed it against the wall, it smashed Ron's finger. He was like bleeding for hours.
That's what we tell people. The true story is we were having wild sex, and Jimmy kept saying, beat me, so I beat him. That's a better story than the couch. Nobody cares about the couch. But if we tell people that I beat him while we were having, S&M sex, is that what it is, S&M sex? Was that? My mother used to collect S&W stamps.
Oh, yeah, that's green stamps.
Green stamps.
S&H green stamps, it was called. My mom did that,
what
too.
What is it when you do the leather thing? That's S&M, right?
S&M, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
What's up? Thomas Claxton has been touring around, everybody. I see all his posts.
Yeah, Tommy, what's going on? When are you ever getting to LA?
He was in New York and he played with Scott a whole bunch of times.
I know that. Look, he's on my Facebook.
No, he was in
page.
LA, but we couldn't go because we were doing shit.
What kind of shit were we doing?
I don't remember whenever it was.
Sorry,
we were doing
Thomas.
shit. I told him next time we'll come.
Are you still seeing that girl, the one that we like? She was nice. Write it in there. You still seeing her?
I don't know if she is or not.
Well, ask him. I want him to answer it. Answer it, Tommy, or I'm going to cut you out of the chat room.
Yeah, right.
Are you still seeing that nice girl, the one that we met?
He hasn't answered yet.
Come
anyway,
on,
you
come
guys.
on, you little dick. Are you still going out with that Thomas?
Nope.
No, she was nice. I mean,
Teresa Saban says it's a secret. He's putting laughing things. No, he's not. Oh,
no,
well.
this girl that I met with Thomas was
You gotta remember that was before COVID.
What would it? COVID made her stop liking him?
No, but maybe COVID made him stop liking her. Who knows?
Oh, bullshit. She was really, and I got to. You know what? We have so many.
Thanks, B.
We have so many single friends, like Joe Kelly. He brought a very nice girl to our house. We had a lovely dinner at our house. We got to like her, and he broke up with her. So now I'm not going to be nice to these people because I get to like all these women, and then the guys dump them, and then I have to start off all over again with the new broads they bring around, and it's exhausting.
That's hilarious.
So I'm not going to do that anymore. They're all heartbreakers, these men, you know.
Angela says she's going to bring the family out to Palm Springs soon.
Yeah, bullshit on makes the flowers grow.
We hope you're doing well,
she
Angela. We miss you. We
says
think you're
that
great.
all the time. She threatens me
Thanks,
all the
B.
time.
So it's all good, you guys. We've really been having a lot of fun. I want to thank everybody for leaving all the great.
Meanwhile, Angie, baby, the
oh,
kid,
actually, Thomas says it's way more to it than that, Ron, and he's gonna he'll eventually fill you in.
Okay, when we see you for dinner, we'll talk. Listen, Angie, baby, I love that picture of the kids. They are getting so handsome. The boys are growing into men.
And Astro's on the couch sleeping.
And they really look good. Your family's getting really handsome. So I said to myself,
Thanks,
I wonder who they took after. They must have taken after their fathers because their mother's a brutal looking bitch. I mean, she's so ugly that she makes people turn sour when they look at her. Right? No, I love Angie. Are you kidding? Angie's my buddy. She's one of the prettiest ladies, and she's got some rack. Yeah, Angie's very, very endowed. She's got big boobs. But Angie's a sweetie pie.
So real quick, you guys, we want to tell everybody so you can listen to the show. We want to thank everybody for tuning in every week. We have iHeartRadio. You can hear us on Apple Podcasts, which I want everybody to listen on Apple Podcasts because we're trying to get up in the rankings there. Leave a comment, a review. Leave a review on Apple Podcasts, please. We're on iTunes, Spotify, Amazon Music, YouTube, Google Podcasts, Radio Public, TuneIn, Pandora, Amazon Prime, and SoundCloud. We're on a bunch more, but those are the biggest ones.
More. Anyway, last night we went into town. We had dinner with Sue Wong, Soho Johnny, Jimmy, myself, and Jackie DeShannon, and her husband, Randy Edelman.
And Eileen.
And Eileen, of course, because it was her birthday.
Did you say Scott Page?
Oh, and Scott Page was there.
From Pink Floyd.
So all the people that we really care about, but we had never met Randy or his wife. His wife is the singer, Jackie DeShannon. You know who she is, Betty Davis Eyes and all those other songs.
Put a Little Love in Your Heart.
Yeah.
And
anyway, she turned out to be probably one of the most lovely, beautiful, down-to-earth, friendly, sweet girls you ever met in your life. She's wonderful. Randy is a character. He's like me. We're fun. We just really had a blast. At our table was rocking all night long. The jokes that were going back and forth, and teasing Eileen, of course, about her flat chest, and we just had a great evening. Sue Wong looked stunning. She was all dolled up. She never wears jewelry like diamonds or rubies or she calls that hock shop jewelry. She wears always bizarre jewelry. Years ago, we called that bohemian. She would have been a bohemian in Greenwich Village. Or not a hippie. Before hippie would be a beatnik. She was a beatnik.
So it was very cool.
But anyway, wait, she looked absolutely stunning. She had shoes on that were like 5 feet high to make her at least 5 feet herself. So, she's very short. And those shoes, my God, Frankenstein had them in the movie.
So Jackie DeShannon, you guys too. She's credited as being one of the first female singer-songwriters of the rock and roll period. Her best-known songs are "What the World Needs Now Is Love," "Put a Little Love in Your Heart," "When You Walk in the Room," and "Betty Davis Eyes."
Mm-hmm.
And she was so much fun. We really had a great time.
And I talked to Betty about that because I was friends with Betty when that song came out, Betty Davis Eyes. And in the car driving to the restaurant, I said to Eileen and Jimmy, I said, yes, Betty Davis mentioned that she was so flattered to be in that song. And and Eileen said, no, she couldn't have. Betty Davis was dead already. And Jimmy's telling, oh, yeah, she was dead. She was dead. I said, she was not dead. Betty Davis spoke to me. I said, how'd you like the song, Betty, about your beautiful eyes? And she said, oh, Ron, I think it's wonderful. I'm so flattered. Well, they looked it up and they found out.
He was right.
Listen, because I said Betty wrote her a letter saying how flattered she was about Betty Davis Eyes. Oh, you're full of crap. You're making that up. I hate when people think I make things up. I make nothing up. I don't have
Cindy,
to make.
you would have loved it.
I don't have to make anything up. My life has been so full of celebrity and fun that I don't have to make it up. In fact, what I do is I play it down. Otherwise, people think I'm a dreamer and I'm full of crap. So Betty Davis, in fact, did send.
And Ron talked to her about it.
Yes, so then they read it, and the article said, and Betty Davis was so happy about it that she sent Jackie a note saying how pleased she was. So you see, I told Eileen and Jimmy, before you make statements, research, because a lot of people say things and they want to be big shots, like they know it alls, and then they fall on their faces because they screwed up.
And we had such a good time.
I had a good time. I'm exhausted, folks. I mean, me, I never stopped talking, and we were teasing and kidding around. We were, it's Eileen's birthday, so I was teasing Eileen. Eileen, she was spiteful. She's a mean girl, Eileen, because she came with a blouse that was all the way up to her neck. And I said, why did you do that? Why didn't you come showing the sisters? You know how I enjoy looking at your boobs, and everybody does. Why are you so with the blouse up to the neck? That's an insult to me, I said, a smack in my face. So she was hysterical laughing. I said, unbutton it. She said, I can't. The buttonholes are sewed up. I said, are you serious? I said, what, do you have a blouse on that in case somebody wants to feel you up, they can't? I don't know. Eileen's changing.
Oh, yeah, right. So anyway, we're going to bring on our first guest.
And then I sat next to Susie, and while we were at dinner, I made believe. I turned to Susie in front of everybody. I said, Sue, stop groping me. Get your hands off it. So that's how the evening went. Crazy Ronnie and crazy people laughing. If you guys were there, you would have enjoyed it. We should have filmed it.
Also, we want to welcome Carnell Alexander joined us in the chat room. What's up, Carnell? Hope you are well.
I don't know that one.
Yes, you do.
I do know that?
Yes.
Carnell?
Carnell Alexander from Twin Radio. Yes, you do.
Remind me who it is. Well, is it a boy or girl?
We don't have time. It's a boy, Carnell.
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 No.
It's Carnell. Anyway, we have a guest.
You're not pronouncing it right.
I am too. I know the guy for 10 years. I know his name.
It's pronounced Cornell.
No, it's not. It's Carnell.
The actor Cornell, what's his name? Was a famous actor. Cornell.
They say you look 30 years younger when you smile, but we got to bring on our guest, so we don't have time to worry about it. Hey, Carnell,
Jimmy, I got 2 words for you, and it ain't hello. How are you?
Yeah. All right, let's go, everybody. We're going to bring in our first guest. Hopefully, we're going to hear everything will be well. Hey, ho! Oh, look at he's wearing a Jimmy Star shirt.
I wore one last night.
Jimmy,
what's up? I love it. How are you? Yeah, we can hear you. Can you hear us?
Oh, yeah, perfectly. I had to cut out the. Can I do this? I had to cut that out. I was at a family restaurant. I was at a restaurant, and I decided that. Unfortunately, had to take that off.
They used to have birds, you guys, on them.
Well, I wore one of her shirts last night. And the shirt that I wore last night had silver antique buttons on it. The shirt was $178 when he had it in the warehouse. Now I meet Jimmy and he says to me, I'm a designer of a button. He said, why don't you go in the warehouse and take something you like? Well, I went up there. I could have brought a Mack truck with me because I walked down. I got shoes. I took shoes, dungarees, jeans, shirts. And I wore one last night, and Sue Wong said it's a beautiful, way ahead of its time shirt.
Yeah, because I made it like 25 years ago.
25 years ago, and it's what they're doing now, and they're showing now.
No, I don't have anything left anymore. Everything is done, and eventually I'll probably do it again. But hold on, let's make a good introduction for you. All right, everybody, now we want to welcome to the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell, the incredibly talented actor, director, writer, Steve Bacic. Hello, and welcome to the show.
Hello, everybody. Hello, and thanks for that intro. Hey, Ron, we haven't met before.
No, we haven't. Are you single?
No, I am not.
Oh, shit. I'm looking for husbands for my daughters.
So wait, I want to tell a story. First of all, we have a chat
No,
room.
you're cute. You're cute. My daughter Deirdre would go for you. You're cute.
Oh yeah, he's really good looking.
Would your wife object if my daughter Deirdre went for you?
No, not married. Girlfriend.
Oh, girl.
I think
girlfriend. So Deirdre can date. So Deirdre will date you and take you away from her. She could be a home wrecker. We're desperate to get them married. We don't care. We'll ruin relationships. We'll do anything to get them husbands.
Hold on. We have a chat room full of people. Say hi to everybody in the chat room.
Hey, chat room. What's up?
So I want to tell everybody a story.
Do I have to type to say hi?
No, you don't have to type it. No, everybody can. No, you don't have to type it. You don't have to do anything. Everybody can hear and see you.
Just talk, because I'm tired. I'm not giving you a good show today.
So listen up, you guys. So I met Steve. I think it was one of my very first conventions in Florida. It was called MegaCon. He looked exactly the same, and I'm talking. This is like 2006, I think. So it's like 15, 16 years ago. 16
I
years
bet
ago.
he wishes he could say the same about you.
I know. I look old. He doesn't look any different at all. He looks exactly the same as he did then, you guys. And everybody was lined up to get his autograph and to meet him because he was like the star of all these fabulous like sci-fi things, Stargate and Andromeda and Stargate Continuum. And he was like the sci-fi guy. Now he's the everything guy because he does everything. But back then, everybody he was really known for all the sci-fi stuff. And he was super cool. If you go on YouTube and watch which Ron hates those videos, but if you watch my Jimmy Star is the shit video, he's like one of the ones in it.
We're going there now. We're going to go. I mean, I've seen bad acting in my day, but I have never seen such bad acting as from Jimmy Star.
I know Jimmy Star is the shit videos, not my acting.
I hate that video.
He hates those.
I hate that. If anybody
Jimmy Star's the shit.
If anybody ever said Ron Russell is the shit, I'd beat the shit out of them. I mean, how disgusting to say somebody is shit. And he thinks it's wonderful. That's cool.
It's not shit. It's the shit. I know. He doesn't get it. Ron's 80, so Steve, Ron's 82, so he doesn't get that.
Don't use that as a weapon, you faggot. And Jimmy's a big faggot. How do you like that?
We're married, by the way.
I mean, he's got his balls given my age.
You act like you're married, actually.
Yeah, we act like we're married.
I was listening to you guys earlier. It was great. Yeah.
We'll be married 10 years this October.
Let's do if you want to do a couple sessions, I can do some counseling.
Yeah.
There's no room for counseling with
Wait a minute, you're already married.
You're
already married, so I can't help you.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No. We work out our own problems. He's got a black eye. I beat the shit out of him.
Yeah, right.
That's it. When he annoys me, I pound his head in.
I got that last week, but he didn't.
I punch him like he was a punching Judy doll. I punch him all over the place.
That's so funny. So hang on, you guys.
I really shouldn't say that because
people are going to believe. People that tune in who don't know you are going to think you're telling the truth.
No, Jimmy, we had an accident with a sofa. Believe it or not.
So everybody, you can follow Steve on Instagram. Really. It's Steve Bacic Official, and it's BACIC. So Steve BACIC Official on Instagram. I want to brag for him a little bit, and then he's got a brand new movie that's on YouTube. I mean, on Tubi, you guys, that I watched, and so I want you. We're going to talk about that. We're going to do a bunch of stuff. Everybody in the chat room loves you and talks about how good looking you are. So that's good.
Oh,
you haven't lost it after all these years.
I mean, too bad he's got a girlfriend. I could see him with Deirdre in a minute. He'd love Deirdre. Deirdre's like a Rita Hayworth type. She's an actress. She's my daughter. She's a good girl. No drugs, not a whore. She's a nice person.
No drugs, not a whore.
She was raised.
She's fabulous.
Ron, I require. No, I can't even joke about drug use now either. So no, I was going to say I'm okay. I'm a little bit.
I've got clean-cut daughters. I raised them Italian style. They know how to cook.
Okay.
Decorate. I raised them very old-fashioned. My daughter Leslie was first runner-up in Miss America. She looks like Grace Kelly. I mean, I don't have ugly kids. Trust me, I got good-looking kids. That's probably why they're not married, because men are afraid of them. Like one guy once said to Leslie, no, my daughter got picked up, so we're in a club, and the guy after half an hour said, you're really nice. I thought you would be a bitch. And my daughter said, why? He said, because you're so beautiful. Most beautiful girls are bitches. So it's like you're very handsome. I bet you girls say, oh, he's cute, but he'd never like me. He must want some beautiful piece of ass.
Yeah, you know what? I don't know. People do come with their preconceptions about you because of how you look, and I'm not a big fan.
They look at me and they say, oh my God, how did Jimmy ever get him?
By the way, they're thanking me in the chat room for bringing on such fabulous eye candy.
You're really good looking. What do you look like without all that pussy hair all over your face?
Oh, you can see him in all his movies and stuff
You
back
have to
in the
do
day.
some research.
You got nice-
All you guys have to do is Google him.
You have nice teeth.
Yeah.
Teeth are important.
I'm gonna brag for you a little bit now. So here's some of the things you guys have seen Steve in, and then we're gonna talk about his new film and some of his other cool shit. So he was in Wonder with Jacob Tremblay, Owen Wilson, and Julia Roberts. Black Way, which was a great movie with Anthony Hopkins, Julia Stiles, Lachlan Monroe, Hal Holbrook, Ray Liotta, Alexander Ludwig. Suddenly, you did a lot of movies with Ray. You did a lot of stuff with Ray Liotta too. The Virginian with Trace Atkins and Ron Perlman. Suddenly with Ray Liotta, Dominic Purcell, and Michael Pare, which Ron knows.
I know Michael for years.
Five Souls with Christina Anapau, who's been on our show. Samurai Armstrong and Ian Bowen, who's been on our show. Tactical Force with Michael Jai White, which I'm doing a movie with soon. Steve Austin. The Final Storm with Lauren Holly, and we're really good friends with her father and Luke Perry. Good Luck, Chuck, Stargate Continuing, X-Men 2, X-Men United. He's Dr. Hank McCoy. The Sixth Day with Arnold Schwarzenegger, Michael Rappaport, Tony Goldwyn, Terry Crews, Michael Rooker, who's been on our show, Robert Duvall, Battlestar Galactica. He was Prince Baronin in Flash Gordon, a modern space opera, when they did the remake of Flash Gordon as a TV series.
The TV series.
Series. He was in Andromeda, Stargate SG-1, The X-Files, and that's like about a third of his resume. I just picked out the things that everybody will know. But then on TV...
Well, I'm getting tired.
On TV, you guys, you've seen him on Julie and the Phantoms, Garage Sale Mysteries, Arrow, Supernatural, NCI Los Angeles, Highlander, The Outer Limits, Viper, The Net, Beastmaster, Dark Angel, Mutant X, The Twilight Zone, Masters of Horror, Blade, Psych. Wow. What does that one say?
How old are you?
Flashpoint, When Calls the Heart, Smallville, Millennium, Blood Ties, 21 Jump Street, ER,
young.
CSI Miami. And that's only a little bit of them too.
To have that resume, you look young. You don't look like you're probably way older than I think you are with a resume. No, with a resume like that, Twilight Zone. Come on, that went out years ago.
Yeah.
I know when
that was the old Twilight. No, that was the new Twilight Zone.
That's the new Twilight Zone in the early 2000s.
Yeah, but the new Twilight Zone was like 20-something years ago.
Yeah, it was like 20 years ago, I think.
So this guy's no chicken. He's no spring chicken. This
no
one.
kid. No, I'm not.
Nothing wrong with being 40. All right.
Sure.
Nothing wrong with being 40.
Because you know what? I know a lot of actors that when they were young, they weren't so hot looking. Now that they're in their 50s and 60s, they're gorgeous. Some people grow into their age look, and I think you're going to grow looking handsome as you get older. You're going to be like me, magnificent, and modest, and modest.
Yeah.
Of course I do.
That's what Jimmy said. He's so modest. Humble.
He said, I said you were so modest and humble.
Very modest and humble. I mean,
you make dinner all the time.
Actually, he does.
You know what, guys, my best quality though is I do cook.
Oh, that's cool.
I've learned.
I don't eat. He eats shit. Jimmy, if it's got preservatives in it, he says, "Oh, it's delicious. I love it." I will not eat food.
Jimmy stars the shit. You are what you eat.
Yeah, because that's all he does. Every meal he eats, he shits 10 times a day. He does. From the poisons he's eating. I do not eat fast foods. I cook all my life. Ever since I'm 21 years old, I have cooked every night. And I only eat healthy food. I've never done drugs, which is true, and I do not drink. So I think that has. And I don't have any work.
What did you eat? What did you eat when you were out last night?
I didn't.
You said you guys were out.
We were at a Chinese restaurant,
and it had there was jalapeno in the food, and I don't eat jalapeno, and I was upset about that because I love orange chicken, but it's very hot. I can't eat. You should not eat jalapeno. It does numbers on your stomach and your intestines. It's not good.
So wait, what do you cook? What do you like to cook?
Well, I've been a vegan now for almost 3 years, so I made a lot of adjustments. Maybe. I don't know. I started, I'll tell you why I started. Okay. In 2019, I went to Croatia with a couple of my kids, and they didn't have anything but prosciutto, cheeses, some variation of homemade grape. So it's either some kind of moonshine or wine or whatever. And so we did about 3 weeks there, and I came back. I felt like crazy bad. And keto was big, right? Keto was big. Everyone says eat meat and vegetables and you get lean. So, as an actor, you try to stay in shape. So I'm Croatian. I love potatoes. I grew up with potatoes and a lot of vegetables in the garden. So I was watching this thing about this potato farmer who ate nothing but potatoes for 4 months to protest the carbs that they're a bad carb. So I'm like, you know what? Screw it. I'm gonna eat potatoes. I'm gonna start eating a lot of potatoes. I bought an air fryer. I started making cold potato salad because if you eat it cold, you don't get the starch. You don't have the problem with that. So that's how it started. And my kids have always tried to get me to go vegetarian. For health reasons, for other reasons, because they don't like the idea of killing anything. Or I just did it because I want to eat potatoes. So about a month or two of that, and then next thing you know, I'm going. I'm gonna keep going with this thing. I didn't miss cheese. I didn't miss any of it, and I really loved cheese and prosciutto, and we ate pig, everything. We ate everything, but when I cook a meat, I cook a veg, mostly a little bit of starch. Now I do a lot of starch, a lot of veg. And I'm actually gotten really, really good at it. I do all sorts of stuff with chickpeas and beans and tofu and a lot of good
We have
stuff.
an air fryer. We love our air fryer.
Yeah, I don't do meat. Jimmy is carnivorous. If Jimmy doesn't have, I have to. You know what? I make a good pasta sauce. Okay, I'm Italian, so I know how to make sauce. If you ever ate the sauce I make for Ginny, you'd vomit. I put no bullshit. I put it like almost a pound of chopped meat in with my tomato sauce when I cook it.
For me, not for him. He won't eat it.
When you put it over the spaghetti or the ravioli or whatever, it's covered in meat. You don't even see the sauce anymore, and he loves that. I throw up. I make it as I'm cooking it. Even my dog told me one day. He looked at me. I'm not eating that shit.
Oh yeah, right. The dog would definitely eat it.
Jimmy's a poor eater, and I worry. He doesn't like my cooking.
I do things really, really. I have to be very quick. I got 3 kids I'm still taking care of, and
good for you.
trying to work.
Wait, you're a single dad.
Mm-hmm.
You're a single dad.
Pretty much, yeah. The mom passed away.
I raised my 2 daughters alone.
Yeah. So, but they're older now. But so when I cook, I gotta cook fast. I'm in and out half an hour. I can't really afford the time. So, I mean, we'll talk about pasta. I make this green pasta sauce, super healthy. It's all greens. I blend it in the processor. I put it on the pasta after. So you're getting all your greens. So Jimmy, cover your ears. Ron, just don't tell him. Just don't tell him you're cooking with vegetables. He won't know. Jimmy, cover your ears.
Oh yes, he does. Jimmy. Oh yes, he does. Jimmy doesn't eat any. He doesn't eat any condiments. He doesn't do mayonnaise, mustard, anything. No salad dressings. He eats lettuce plain. I mean, he's not.
No, I like lemon on it.
And listen, people come to my house. People come to my house for dinner, and they all say, "Oh, Ron, that was so delicious." And I know it was because these recipes are from my grandmother. Jimmy does not like my cooking, but if I give him a frozen piece of shit with 9,000 grams of salt and all kinds of preservatives to make your dick go down forever, he loves it. He eats it. Oh, this
I love
is
Trader
delicious.
Joe's. I love
delicious.
Trader Joe's.
I don't get it.
Oh, I heard about it's called the dick down pasta.
Yeah, the dick down pasta.
Right, the dick down. Oh, I told him that. No, I make a lot of. I grow in my yard. I grow my own basil.
We have basil and all kinds of stuff in our yard.
And I grow rosemary. So when I cook pesto, which is the one, everyone out there, please eat pesto at least once a week. It cleans out your intestines. It cleans out your rectum and your bile. Everything. It purifies your body, and you have a lovely breath. It's basil. It's wonderful. It's probably the best pasta there is.
Yeah, I modify. I added a little bit of kale and spinach with the basil just to get a little bit more nutrients in there. I do all sorts of funky stuff with food, and it's really tasty, Jimmy. I'm telling you, you'd be like, I
would try it.
It was so full of flavor, man. You'd be like, oh, forget the shit. I'm gonna eat the good stuff.
So listen,
he's a food junkie. He went one time about a week and a half without McDonald's or Burger Queen or wherever we went. And he said to me, I can't. He said, I can't. I have to have a hamburger. I said, let's do In-N-Out. In-N-Out is the healthiest of all that shit.
Yeah, they're all right.
We went to In-N-Out, and he said,
I like Chipotle the best.
Wait, he said, I don't like In-N-Out. He said, I like McDonald's French fries better. Did you ever eat a McDonald's French fry?
Yeah.
Did you ever?
I bet he doesn't.
They use motor oil. They cook it in used truck motor oil. I've never seen garbage.
I'm not. I used to eat McDonald's at least twice a week before I went vegan. I loved the Big Mac before I went vegan. No
Amazing you're
more.
still
I like.
alive.
So you're in Canada too,
I
right?
know.
You live in Canada.
Yeah. Yes, that's right.
Do you guys have Chipotle?
Yeah, we do
That's like
actually.
that's
Yeah,
my favorite, and
we
it's the
brought 'em.
healthiest.
But I make. You know what? I tell you what. My burritos are way better.
Okay.
Way better. Like
So I'm gonna say
killer.
I'm gonna segue this now into your new movie. So you
I
guys,
just want to say one thing and then segue. Chipotle, if you read it, has more preservatives.
no, it doesn't.
It's full, Jimmy. You're dreaming. It has to have preservatives because they ship it down from the moon or somewhere, wherever they make it.
Yeah.
They want to know what you're drinking. What's the gray stuff in the jar?
This stuff here.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's a vegan. It's a mix with vegan protein. I
Uh-huh.
think it's oat milk, frozen strawberries, pineapple. The protein powder has everything in it. It's got all your aminos. It's also got your greens. It's got all the good fats and stuff. So
Okay,
yeah,
there you
yeah.
go.
I just
So
got
here's
Wait, when you're my age, you're gonna look as good as I do.
So here's how we're gonna
hope
segue, you
so.
guys. Here's how we're gonna segue, you guys. So you think he's so everybody in the chat room, you guys think he's so cute and everything, right? So he's got
He
this
is
brand new
cute.
movie called
If
Alter.
he was gay, I'd leave Jimmy in a minute.
he's got this brand new movie, you guys. It's called Alter. It's on Tubi, and in the film, there's lots of scenes with him shirtless, so that way you can see him. So you can see how him eating all that great stuff, has affected his body.
Now they have
That was
now
listen,
they
that
and
was
I
a
would
rough
suggest
shoot. That was a rough shoot.
and I-
I'm
Wait.
telling you.
We're gonna talk about that.
wait,
Hold on.
I would suggest to the
Let me
women
talk.
wait. When you see him shirtless, go out and get fresh batteries for your vibrators.
Okay, so here we go. So you guys, let me tell you real quick, and then we're gonna let him talk about it a little bit. So Tubi, you guys, is
You guys are funny.
a psychological thriller. That's why 4.5 million people watch us every week, because we're
5 million, Jimmy. We went up to
a
5.
psychological thriller about a man who's convinced that he has found his childhood abductor and determines to get him to confess by any means necessary. And one of the things that's really unique about this is the story is by Steve and somebody named James Phillips, but he also directs it. He stars in it. He's the cinematographer. He basically does everything for this movie, which never really happened. So tell us a little bit about it.
Okay, so we're James and I was involved in some micro budget films with another friend of mine, Rick Dugdale, who's gone off. He actually produced Blackway. But prior to that, we were doing some, micro budget, $200,000, $300,000 movies. I did one in Texas with them, and then I did one at Oregon. But the scripts weren't that great. Like they were big scripts that had to get condensed because we're doing a micro budget. So you go locations, a lot of moving around, a lot of characters, and so I would help him I'd fix the scripts. And I thought, rather than start with a shitty script, I went to my buddy James. He wrote on The Guard, which is a series I did up here in Canada. He was one of the producers and writers, and he's written probably at least 50, 60 scripts, and he's always got stuff options. He's a great writer. So let's start with an idea and let's build around the idea. And so we don't know if this character is suffering from schizophrenia or whether or not he's the victim of some kind of demonic pedophile. And so that was the idea. Well, how do we build around that? And then how do we build around friendly locations, friendly budget? In the film business, movement is time, which is money, which I don't have, and I didn't want to bring in. I didn't want to go take it to Netflix or a studio or anywhere else, because one of the things I realized about myself is if I get notes or there's multiple players involved, I just stop. It just kind of freezes me up. And so we just kind of sat on the film for, I don't know, about 8-10 years. And then COVID happens. And I was like, wait a minute, we're sitting around here. It's COVID friendly. It's about 3 or 4 characters. And then I ended up getting a bunch of different locations and donations and things like that. So I wrote another 20, 30 pages based on those locations because it is a contained script. And I didn't want people to go crazy locked away, because when we filmed in this torture area, like it was a Y2K bunker in the movie, you can only take it for about 6 or 7 hours before you start going crazy. So I started visualizing it before I started shooting it. and I started building the sets, and people were and places were popping in. It was weird. When I made the decision, my girlfriend said, I was going to do it over Christmas because we couldn't go away. It was COVID, and stuff just started lining up. I said, "Fuck it, let's go." Can I say "fuck it"?
Yeah.
I just swore. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
We're unfiltered and uncensored. You could say.
Oh,
whatever
good,
you
good.
like.
So
You can also get naked if you want.
There you
Wow,
go.
the girls, our rating just went up 3,000 people more. Oh, look at that.
Ow. Anyway,
Show
so
an arm muscle. Do an arm.
He just did one.
Oh, I didn't see it. Girls, look at
There
that
you go.
lady.
Yeah.
Oh my
Anyways,
God, ladies, look at
so
that.
that was end of it was that was it 2020. Yeah, it was end of 2020, November. I'm like, you know what? I probably won't get anything going on before end of the year. So I was gonna start writing this thing. So I thought I had a month to prep. I've done some directing before and some coaching, and some of the kids and people I've worked with have done very well. Like if I work with them for a few hours, I can get some really good performances. So I thought we'll do it like a play. We'll have 3 or 4 weeks to rehearse. I'm gonna get people who are friendly, who want to work, who want to develop. And then guess what? So when you're ready to go to do something else, you get a couple of gigs. So I get 2 gigs back to back, right in the middle of my prep schedule. So I'm writing, I'm shooting, and then I only got about, rather than like a month, I got 3 days. 3 days to work with the actors. And meanwhile, again, I built the outside of you see a bunker. I built the outside of the bunker, but the inside of the bunker was a different location. So then I literally over Christmas planned it out chronologically in my head. I didn't use any program. I'm old school. All my notes were handwritten. I give them to James, and James and I sit down. We go through it, and I literally planned little segments. And I'm a continuity freak too. So I was like, I got minimal crew, minimal actors, but there's no one else watching this thing. So while I'm writing and producing and fixing locations, the last thing I did was look at the damn lines, and those were my lines. So it was rough. The acting part was the part where I go, oh shit, what am I going to do now, right? And I couldn't really pay attention to them either. So all in all, it was an amazing experience because I always said, if you give me a guy with a camera who can focus, I think I can shoot a film. And where we suffered a little bit is, well, not a little bit, a lot, because we had to fix it later, was sound. Like I thought by the time I get a sound person in and interview and all that, I probably won't shoot it. So I had no concept of reality in terms of delivering a film or what was going to be involved. I didn't even have an editor lined up yet. So, but all these things started to fall in place. And I had a contact. I was doing a show called Virgin River. So I had a contact there, and they're like a big Netflix show. Yeah. So so they're big, and I knew the EP, and I was telling her about the movie and that I was going to shoot it because they're still going, right? So, and I had a few other producer friends, and I was naive. I thought, well, they got relationships. They can take it to Netflix or Hulu or wherever, right? Amazon. And I thought Amazon was still taking on movies for from novices like me, but they don't. So that door was closed. I didn't know what to do with it. But then I was talking to my friend Jack Nasser, Nasser Productions, and they had a distribution company, which his son runs now, but it's called Enlightened Entertainment. And I sent them the trailer. They liked the trailer, so they said, let's see what it's like when it's done. And so I did, and they started shopping around. So we got it on Tubi. They got a 60-day exclusive, and then we'll see if we can shop it around. But I just actually rewatched it.
We should tell everybody. Hang on, we got to tell everybody. Hang on, everybody. So listen up, everybody. If you don't know, Tubi's free. Like I actually just tugged. The name of the movie is Alter, and I went on my Big Mac and I typed in Tubi Alter, and it comes up right away, and you can just watch it on wherever you are. You don't have to even have the app.
Should be,
you can just watch it.
It's commercial free also.
No, it has commercial.
Tubi doesn't do commercial.
Yeah, that's why it's free. But if you can pay a premium, I guess. But the thing is, it was supposed to be in the recently, I believe it recently released or only on Tubi baskets. But yeah, type in Alter, Alter. I think it's a good story. I mean, it's a good story. But look, I actually I don't know. I've had some bad luck in the last year. So I broke my shoulder riding an e-bike. I tore my Achilles 10 weeks ago. So I've been watching a lot of movies. And, I think, once you forget about some of the technical issues, because there's some there. I've watched a lot of movies and there's a lot of technical issues in some big films, a lot of continuity issues, a lot of things like me as an actor or as a viewer, I don't like getting bumped. I don't like going, wait a minute, now I'm back in reality. I like to be pulled out of my reality and watch a story. So my goal is always to try to keep people in that reality as much as possible. And unfortunately, yeah, there's some sound issues and things like that. But I think the story moves. It kind of makes you wonder about a few things, and you think, oh, is that a mistake? No, because it gets taken care of later.
So we just finished watching a Travolta movie, filmed in Florida. He's supposed to be riding a speedboat in the waters of Florida, and guess what?
Yes,
there are mountains behind him. There are no mountains in Florida. You could see that it was shot in California. So, and this is a multi-million-dollar movie. And how the fuck they let that get by on that sound?
Talking about sound, though, I was watching. I'm not going to name names. I'm not going to name where I saw them, but there was a boat scene. It was a big film, big cast, and when you're on a boat, you hear the water. You hear, it's like thunder. You can hear them perfectly. It's as if they're standing in a booth or in a closet talking to each other. There's no wind. There's no nothing. And that kind of shit takes me out. You want a taste of that stuff, right? You don't want it
takes
too clean.
Me out also.
Yeah. What about the breathe? One of the things I realized was on mine, this is by accident, was because we had louds we couldn't use because there's a lot of sound. So we're using the shotgun mic, but you don't get all the swallowing and the breathing. And in real life, you don't hear me breathing right now. But in movies, that's all you hear is the breathing and the chewing. And I don't want to listen to that shit. I want to see the story going on, but I don't need to listen to a person breathing heavy or swallowing or making all these little ridiculous noises, because that stuff takes me out too. So in a way, I found that it was a really good. I'm going to try to make another one. I've got a script already. I got location. I got, I just got to decide whether I want to go through the pain again. But I've learned a lot, and I know
you need to go through the pain. So I really enjoyed the movie for an indie film. I thought it was the story is good. It has a lot of twists and turns in it. I don't want to ruin anything for anybody.
How come you saw it and I didn't see it?
Because I wanted to make sure that because we've been gone every day to LA, and I needed to watch it to make sure I knew what it was about. So when we had him on the show,
I could have watched it with you, couldn't I?
Well, I watched it today.
Oh. No,
while you were sleeping.
I slept till right before the show.
So you guys, what we're gonna do? So we have the trailer. We're gonna play the trailer. Hopefully YouTube doesn't fucking have a. Actually, it's not on YouTube, so I don't think we'll have a problem with it. We're gonna play the trailer. Yeah. So Juan, I'm gonna have Steve introduce the trailer. Then you play it. Hang on, Steve. We're gonna play it for everybody, and then we'll be right back. So you introduce it, Steve.
Hey everybody! Here's a trailer for Alter. Scary.
There is a thin veil between sanity and insanity. The mind is a fragile thing. Nature has given us ways to protect ourselves, putting up walls, changing the meaning, losing all memory. But what if the walls kept crashing down? What if you remember? Could you do what you needed to do to survive?
Hello, police. Is that your vehicle out front?
Can I ask why you're interested?
A car matching that make and model was involved in an abduction.
Hey. Decker. It's been a while, huh?
Do I know you?
I'm sorry, I really gotta get home.
There's a $20 reward. My name and number's on this card. Have your mom call me. I don't know what you think I did, but it wasn't me. It's your call. Please, no.
God. There's no God here. Sit tight. I got an idea.
That looks good.
So two things I want to say. First of all, the movie's really good, you guys. You guys will really like it. The second thing is there's two lines, which I'm not going to say what they are, and I don't exactly remember, but there's one in the middle and one near the end. They're like classic lines that are going to be like lines. You know how people remember lines from a movie? There's two lines that are super phenomenal, and you guys are not going to believe all the twists and turns in the movie. And Steve looks great in it. And the other thing that's really cool too is like when you don't have your shirt on and they show the little boy with the scars and then you with the scars, your scars look really real. Like you must have had somebody pretty good to make them look so real because they look really real.
We did a lot of that ourselves.
Yeah, it looks good.
And again, I try to keep everything to a minimum so that I wouldn't have continuity issues later. But I did have some friends who are in the makeup biz recommend things to get. But yeah, a lot of that we ended up doing ourselves. So again, it's interesting when you watch some of these big action films and you see some of the movie stars and they just got little nicks and things like that. But I get why, because continuity is a monster, and especially when you're focusing on the face. So with the scarring, I wanted to make sure I didn't show it too much, but just enough so that people could connect the dots.
The child, yes, it was fabulous.
Years ago, I'm in the business. 64. Oh,
go ahead.
Go ahead, Steve. Go. Let Steve finish his thought, and then Ron will come in.
Right.
No, I was going to say with regards when I was showing the trailer around, some people thought that the kid was my kid.
Oh, see, I didn't get that at all. Okay, yeah, I didn't get that at all.
Which was interesting. Okay. I thought, that definitely drives someone to go ahead and do something crazy, like torture someone. Yeah,
so, that's funny.
Anyways.
Well, like I said, I'm in film 64 years. I've watched it deteriorate. There's no such thing any longer as rehearsal. There's no such thing as character development, and there's no such thing as continuity. I mean, you can see a woman in one scene, her hair is up in curls, and then the next scene, which is the same room, her hair is down in a flip. So I think, what the fuck were they thinking? I mean, what did you have a hairdo done in a minute? And so, today, they only care about reading lines. Yeah. That's all they want. Read your lines and get off the set. And I think that stinks. Nobody acts anymore. They just read lines.
No.
So
you're right. Absolutely right. And the thing is too, my editor had limited experience, yet we had to search for some stuff because I didn't get all the coverage, the perfect coverage. So, but even within my limited resources, we were able to find things to eliminate 99% of the continuity issues. So they just got to get, I think the problem with traditional filmmaking is everyone is scared. You don't want to say we need to change that because that doesn't make sense, because the person you're telling to change it has the power, right? So that's the nice thing about doing your own film without having someone tell you what to do is especially if you got some integrity, you can stay as true to a story as possible. The downside is, without the money, you're going to have some issues, technical issues, but you don't have creative issues, which is nice.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, it's lack of talent, because if you put $15,000 in a film and you're a truck driver or a plumber, you're an actor now. You're in a movie with no acting experience whatsoever. You have no idea how to work a camera.
Talking about all the Indiegogo campaigns.
You have no idea. You have no idea how to raise and lower your voice for expression when you speak. So it
Yeah.
shows because we have regular people, we have audience now in film, and they're not professionals, they're not actors.
No, we have a lot of people that we are aware of and that we know.
Yeah,
who,
because they put
who
money
do
in the film.
crowdfunding campaigns and raise $200,000 or $300,000, and 80% of the actors in it are people who've never acted before, and
Never.
they paid money to be in the
Or
role,
they put their kids in the movie. Oh, I want my daughter in it or my son in it.
and it's just terrible.
And
The acting
it
is
shows.
terrible.
It shows.
Guys, help me with the next one. Then let's go fund me. I'll make the next one. Get me that budget, and it'll be good.
We'll talk about it.
I've never even like I've seen those things, and I'd like, oh, it kind of bothers me because I don't know what the person who's donating gets out of it.
No, they donate.
They want to
get
be
their,
movie
get acting roles,
stars.
producer roles.
The
No, but I'm
church that I
talking
have,
about the GoFundMe stuff. Like these people who are
GoFundMe's
donating.
different. Yeah, that's just donating.
Yeah.
But I don't know how that works. But
but
Indiegogo is different.
the people that buy their way into a film want to tell their friends, I'm an actor, I'm in a movie. And they have 2 lines in the movie and they think they're stars of the movie. And it's really ridiculous because when they're on a set, you see how they're tripping over the wires. They don't even know what they're doing. They have no idea how to do a film.
Actually, hang on. I want to bring something else up about that. So I have an acquaintance, I'll say an acquaintance of someone who I know, and he's got like 60 producer credits, and he wanted to work with me on a project. And I thought, okay, he's got 60 producer credits. He must know what he's like doing. And then it comes out when we're like talking that he bought every one. He doesn't know how to do a single thing. He doesn't know how to find a location, doesn't know how to do SAG, doesn't know how to do a single thing with it. And I was like, yeah, dude, like I can't work with you. You don't know how to do anything. I'll end up doing everything.
See, in my day, everybody was controlled by the studio. And the studio only had vintage people in it. The gaffs, the lighting, the sound people, the camera people, they were all with the studio for years, trained by the studio. So the actors and the crew were able to work together. Also, for a movie, we had table readings, number one.
Yeah.
Then after table reading, after table reading, we had rehearsals. Then we would go off set and talk to the actor we're with. And I'd say, what do you think? Maybe I should smack you or throw a drink. What can we do to make our lines better? And then we bring it to the director and say, what do you think if so-and-so and I did this and that? We all were a part of the movie. And that's why the movies look so rich and good. Now, I know my lines. That's all I want to know. I don't care about anything else. And I tell these young actors, hands are important. Use your hands in a movie. Hands tell a story better than dialogue. And they don't do that. They sit with their hands at their side like robots. And it's, okay, you guys, come on now. We have to go kill those clowns because those clowns are really mean and bad. I want to cry.
Right.
I can't deal with it.
No, it's terrible. It's well, I think that what's what you got to look at. If I talk to anyone about acting or filmmaking or whatever, I can't talk about what it is right now. If everyone wants to be a star, everyone wants to do this. Like you got all these influencers who become actors because they got followings and things like that. But you got to kind of be tripping to be a good actor, in my mind. If you're on a set, it's my responsibility to know what I'm doing, and yet also not to know what I'm doing because you got to be in the moment. So you got to kind of be watching yourself, from over here, so that you can match everything. It's a craft. It is a craft, and if you take it seriously, you can be very good at it. There's a lot of people who look. If you're able to do whatever the fuck you want to do on a set, sometimes you can hit brilliance. There's a lot of actors can't be told what to do, right? So they can do whatever they want. The camera's got to find them. They can do anything they want with the furniture. They can move stuff around. They don't have to collaborate, but they look brilliant because they get 10 takes, 20 takes, 15 takes. It's the professional who shows up on a set, and now, yes, you just know your lines. Don't collaborate. Don't talk too much. Hit the mark. Find a camera. But within that sort of element, to still be present, that's a whole other thing that we have to learn right now.
But it shows in these movies. I go to a million red carpets, and some of these movies are so bad. I say, they're an embarrassment. Really an embarrassment. I go back in the 1950s, with the big movies of years ago. Nothing was an embarrassment. Every film was professional. And people say to me, "What's your advice on me? I'm a new actor. What should I do?" I said, "Do not act. Never act. Just become the
Exactly.
character. Be the character."
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
a lot of
But
them
that
think they
takes,
have to act.
Yes.
yeah.
One thing too that's
Because
different
you know
though.
what? They're being
Go
taught
ahead.
by actors who don't work.
Right.
Everyone who's not working right now is teaching. And you know, it's funny because like some people I know, they're being hired by the studios, they're being hired by networks, and they're teaching these kids and these people on set. They got their own little coaches. And I go, but do they not realize that these people are influencing? It's like going to a doctor who's unhealthy, right?
Yes.
Just double your dose. You double your dose. But I
Yes.
got a side effect. Okay, double your dose. You know, you don't.
I
You
agree.
gotta.
I agree.
People have to be responsible for their own craft. They have to be. They have, and they also. I say to people, what are you giving? Don't try to get something. What are you giving? Are you
Right.
giving something? Right? And like you said, it's like it's so you just the hardest part for any individual that I found is to be vulnerability isn't about extremes and nudity and violence and all. Vulnerability is that thing where you're just you can fully expose yourself and forget about judgment, forget about performance, forget about everything. You're just there. And you watch you watch a puppy, you watch a baby, they're just present, they're just doing their thing. It's the most captivating thing of all. That's why, I had one of my first agents said the camera loves vulnerability and the camera loves insanity, because
Yes.
those are the two extremes.
And the camera
And then you
also
see,
likes an honest performance. You can't fool the
absolutely.
camera. If you do a fake performance, the camera sees it. I still do method, and I get in trouble sometimes because the young ones today don't understand method. Method acting
Yeah.
simply was reality before reality shows. It was be real. When you deliver your lines, deliver them as if you were really the character in that situation and stay in character. You cannot be, this is what your continuity now. You cannot be a mafia killer. And then in the next scene, you're not in the mood for it, and your performance is less than a mafia killer. There's no continuity. So when you're on a
Right.
set, you must stay in character. So there's absolute acting continuity in every scene that henceforth you shoot. It works. That's what we were
Mm.
taught when I was young. Today, it's again, I say it. Read your lines. There are no marks, by the way. When I came back in the business, which was a couple of years ago. I said to my director, "Where are my marks?" He said, "You don't have any." I said, "What do you mean I don't have any marks?" He said, "You don't. Just go over to the window and then look out and then open the door." I said, "You got to be kidding." I said, "Am I going to be lit properly? Is the camera going to be? I don't understand what you're doing." He said, "Oh, don't worry about it. The camera follows you." It was a little camera up in the ceiling somewhere,
Yeah.
like a security camera.
One thing about it too, though, is
Yeah.
that to differentiate, like we're basically doing a lot of like low budget, micro budget movies. We're working on some much bigger ones now, but like now, this is your, a micro budget movie, and you've done a few of them, but also because you've worked on such huge, productions, like you can see the difference. Like when you're in a Julia Roberts movie, it's a lot different than making your own movie where you've got a couple $100,000, to make a movie or
No,
less.
when you're in a Julia Roberts movie, she calls the shots.
Well, I was on this again. I'm not. It was a really big budget show, and they had this massive crane, and they're doing this big pan across the table. It took about 2 or 3 hours to set the shot. I don't know what it cost them for the crane and all the actors. And I was thinking to myself, I could do that with a skateboard in about 5 minutes. Same shot.
Which is cool that you know that.
Because
Okay, so
yeah, the lens is the thing that matters, right? It gets everything.
Oh, absolutely.
You don't have to do anything stupid or extra. You don't get extra points for doing, spending that money. It's like, what can you capture in the lens? What can you grab me? And I'll tell you the one thing I will do for the next one is have a monitor. I had no idea. I was hoping I was getting because I just didn't have time to check anything. So I actually shot I was hoping to have I had a short film. It's a concept for a longer series called Incubus. And I just shot that, but we're having some issues with the editor. It's been a little while. We're 90% done. Same idea, but it was really, really great. But this time I had a monitor for some of it. So I was like, oh, wow, okay. But I still missed some key moments because I wasn't going to play back and watching it because I was directing and acting in it. And that next one for sure. I'm gonna do playback, make sure I get the key shots I need. Because you can fix those things. You can fix those things. I don't think anything's essential. I think 80 or 90%, if you can get 80 or 90% of what you want, that's better than most of the stuff that's getting made. And you can tell a good story as long as you're willing to give up some stuff. You know, sometimes you gotta give up your favorite lines to get the story done.
My final word to everybody is out there: honesty. That's it. When you're working in a film, honesty. Because if you don't have honesty in your performance, it's never going to work.
So
you have to be right. You have to be honest in what you do.
So you guys, I want to go back. The name of the film is Alter. It's on Tubi, starring Steve, co-written with Steve, or story by Steve, directed, cinematographer. He did it all. It's a really fun movie. Well, not fun, but it's a really good movie. It's not really a fun movie. It's fun. It's more of a. It's listed as a horror thriller. It's really more of a thriller than a horror movie.
A lot of people have fun being scared.
That's true, but I think everybody will really enjoy it. So we've got like 4 or 5 minutes. 5 minutes, I think, till the next guy calls. Real quick, let's do some hypotheticals with you because you've done so many fabulous things. So let's say male and female actor on a bucket list that you're like, oh my God, I'd really love to work with these people. Like, who is a male and female you'd love to work with? And then the second half of the question will be, if you could have ever been in any movie that's ever been made, like in history, what movie would you have liked to have been in?
Oh God, why didn't you give me these questions? Did you give me these questions ahead of time and I didn't read them?
No, I never give anybody questions ahead of time.
No,
these are.
You know what?
These are spontaneous. There's no rehearsal here.
It used to be that I go, oh, I would love to work with so and so, and then since I've worked with some of my icons, I don't have that anymore. I don't have it anymore because honestly, they're as fucked up as I am. Right?
Absolutely right. Totally right.
Who I want to work with and what I want to do is more collaborating, more integrity. You know, not so like let's tell stories that aren't so fragile. You know, honest. Back to you, Ron.
But
honest.
You have to give us
and work for people who care a little bit more about others than they care about themselves. That's what I want to work with.
Steve, that wasn't the question. The question is, give us a title.
Give us a movie.
We need a title to a movie
you would have had like to been in. That should be easier than the actor.
Ooh, Apocalypse Now.
Oh, that's a good one. Nobody's ever said that.
And what would you have liked? What part would you have played? What part would you have liked to have played?
Martin's.
Yeah, that's
Martin
sweet. That's sweet.
That was a
hell of a
part.
So how about if we? I was going to say, how about if we do?
I love. Sorry.
Go ahead. I love what?
What was the question?
I know. Go tell me what other movies you love. Well, like some other thing you were about to say. Other movies I love.
I would love to work with Will Ferrell.
Oh my God, Will Ferrell!
He is.
I never would have thought that.
To me, he literally he's like my spirit animal. I'm actually the biggest goof, and I pray to God that he's actually the way he is in his interviews.
He is. He's off the wall. He's totally off the wall.
Yeah, and I hope he's like a really nice guy because I can't stand to hear about. Because I work with people that I thought were great and wonderful, and then you meet them and they're miserable, and you don't want to spend an extra minute with them. But
we heard that Julia Roberts is tough.
I didn't work with her directly.
She's not easy. We hear from people that
she's my favorite too.
People that have worked.
I don't want to hear that.
They said she's a bitch.
You know what?
People
I did?
That work.
Okay, so I did CSI Miami. I think it was Nick Caruso was a star, and I was doing I think it was it ER. It's one of my few times down in LA. So I booked a couple of really good guest stars, and everyone was warning me about CSI Miami about how difficult it is. And I'm like, okay. So they were doing my hair. They had to put some yellow streaks in it. I was playing a stunt guy, and who's suspected of killing he's one of the suspects, right? And so I was talking because hair and makeup knows everything. So I said, look, I'm a little concerned. The guys over on ER are saying this about CSI. I said, what's the deal? He goes, just be prepared. Be prepared. That's all I'm going to tell you. It is what it is. Be prepared. So I'm like, okay, cool. I'll be prepared. And my character was kind of antagonistic anyway. So I'm like, if people are bricks, I'll be a brick. Who cares? I'm just going to do my job. So I was very prepared. I brought in the energy. And all it was he just had a difficult time with remembering the lines, which I found with a lot of actors. They're in the moment, but they don't.
Yes, that too.
I'm using an earplug. Hey, I go to work next week. I have an earplug. I'm 82. I don't remember lines anymore.
Right. Gotta keep. So what I did was when the wheels started coming off, I didn't freak out. I didn't do anything. I stayed in character. I waited, and they just they fixed the line, and I kept going. By the end of it, we were buddies. They were all so happy with me because I didn't make a deal about it. It was like, okay, so I don't care. I'm gonna be a professional, and thank God for the guy's advice because I was nervous. I was nervous. It's like the number one show on TV at the time. Oh, there's a raccoon. Hey, buddy.
Oh, cool.
Got a raccoon. I got a raccoon hanging in my yard. Okay. So I'm in North Vancouver, right? I'm in an area where we don't get that many bears, but within the first year, we had a little bear coming through, and then we had raccoons having sex on my deck.
Vancouver's very beautiful.
So wait a sec. Let's go. Okay, so who's a female? Maybe not that you're dying to work with, but who's like some female, otherwise actresses that you think are cool? That way you don't have to say that you would want to work with them.
Oh yeah. Oh God, I'm blanking on names though. I'm blanking on names. I'm just trying to think about some of the recent stuff I've watched. Blanking on names. I cannot give you a name. Supposedly, I'm about to go shoot something. It's a limited series on Amazon. Supposedly, I'm working with. I got a wife who's. They can't disclose her name. Maybe that'll be the one.
Oh, you never know. Hey, I love it.
Never know. Yeah. That's the other part. You get a lot of pressure. It's funny because actors are weird, and when I still get nervous. I still get nervous about bigger names and things like that, rather than just doing my job and being human. And it's not fair to them. It's not really fair to them. Just treat them like everybody else. No one above, no one below. It's just get in there and do your job. So hopefully, people's don't get offended by that.
When I was 19 years old, I was on the set with Sophia Loren, and they said to me, "Soldier, you're not supposed to sit there pining over her face." I just sat there, I was mesmerized. I couldn't do anything. I just looked at her face like a kid I was 19, like a kid in love because she was so beautiful. I couldn't stop.
Yeah.
It was difficult. Do you find it difficult working with the beautiful woman when you're supposed to dislike her? Let's put it that way. Can you be mean to a beautiful woman?
I find it difficult disliking pretty much anybody.
No, I mean in the script. No, I meant in the script. Your script is you're with Theron.
Yeah.
Okay, you're doing a scene with Theron, and you have to tell her you hate her guts, and you be mean to her.
No, he's an actor.
But it's difficult with some of them because they're really so beautiful. You have to work double hard.
Have you ever watched? Okay, let's talk about beauty. So, have you ever watched Bachelor or Bachelorette? Have you ever watched those shows?
I hate them, but yes, I have seen them.
So they're all really attractive until they're not. You know what I mean? They all look great because then they start
until they open their mouths.
Well, what are the character? Are they a horrible person? Are they too egotistical? So I just I have a great imagination, but once I start to work, I work, and then I can do whatever the hell I can make it whatever I want for the period of time. I can always suspend who I am for a little bit of time, and then I'll be nice again. So yeah.
But working with Sophia at that age, I didn't have any lines with her, but I was in her shots, and I just kept staring at her and look. I couldn't get my eyes off of her, and the camera sees that. I'm not. Well, although I played a soldier who was supposed to be enamored with her character, so possibly it may have worked. Yeah,
makes
sense.
Maybe.
So everybody follow Steve on Instagram. He's not a huge lover of social media, but follow him anyway at Steve Bacic Official. Check out all his things, and especially check out Tubi because we wanted to get tons of views, so people want to he can distribute it all over the world, and so we want everybody to watch it. So please check it out. Steve, we want to thank you for coming on the show. We'll be in touch. Congratulations on everything. Thanks so much for wearing. Thanks for wearing a Jimmy Star shirt. That was really cool. I like that.
Nice.
Yes.
Nice.
So peace out, dude. Thank you so much, and we'll see you soon.
Hey, it was a pleasure meeting you. So nice meeting you.
Good to meet you guys. Yeah.
Bye
All the
bye.
best,
All right,
boss.
bye-bye.
Take care.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Bye-bye.
Bye bye.
Yeah.
Wasn't that awesome?
Nice guy.
He's so cool. And I just
Very,
like the
and he
fact-
knows his stuff, so he's talented. So I'm sure whatever he does
No,
well.
he's really good.
Well, he's not like a schizo nut job like most of them are in the business.
No, he's very good. He's really, and he's just cool. I mean, he was cool when I first met him, you know. And
No, I don't think he's cool. I think he's normal, regular, like a person. But
a cool person, not a dork,
oh,
dumbass,
well,
shitty
not, of
person.
course not. Is that what cool means?
Yeah, cool means
Oh,
they're
I
cool.
thought cool meant hip.
No, he's cool. Like he's nice, he's friendly, he's.
Well, I thought years ago, cool meant you were not normal. You were like, oh man, he's real cool.
Oh, no, I don't like that. So we're gonna bring on our next guest anyway. So come on in, Stefano. Hopefully he's there. I think he's there. Hey!
Yo! Can you see me? Can
Yes,
you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. How are you?
I'm better now.
I'm so happy to have you here. All right, so now that we can hear you, we're gonna make a good announcement. So, all right, everybody, now we have coming on the Jimmy Star Show. We want to welcome the one and only singer, writer, fabulous performer, Stefano. Hello and welcome to the show.
What's going on, guys?
Hey, we're super excited to have you. I know you met Ron, but I got to introduce him. He's my cool, outrageous man about town co-host. Say hi, Ron.
Well, say hi. What am I, a puppet? You want to put your hand up my ass and move my mouth? I mean, give me a fucking break. Hi, Stefano. Nice to see you again. What am I going to say?
Good to see you.
I enjoyed your singing at the party.
Thank you.
You sang good songs from my day.
It's all about the taste, you got to have that song that brings out the essence.
Well,
Good
it was very normal music. I love the lyrics. I love the songs. They don't write songs like that anymore.
And you sing Bruno Mars better than Bruno Mars. So
okay, that means a lot. He's a bad dude. So
I know he's fabulous.
But I'm up there, man. I'm up there.
Bruno Mars. He sang some Bruno Mars songs. Bruno Mars is like a really big, one of the biggest singers in the world. Yeah, you have. You've heard his songs. You might not know. Ron's all about who's you like?
My music, I like everybody. My Johnny Mathis.
Yeah, he's Johnny
favorite.
Mathis, Peggy Lee.
Those
are
they're my favorites.
Because he's 82.
I get it.
If you don't stop with my age, I'm going to really give you a fucking black eye. I really will punch you.
So hold on. We have a chat room full of people. Say hi to everybody in the chat room.
What's good, everybody? How's everybody doing?
They're all doing good, and we have B. Claudia is in Germany. Her name's B. Claudia. She's like a huge. She loves all our musical guests. So she's already been telling everybody all about you in the chat room. So say hi to B. Claudia. She's in Germany.
Claudia, how are you? I got a little A. If you want me to go down on a little song right now, I always can. I can always break into song at any moment.
Oh, break into song for B. Claudia. Oh, for the chat room. Yes.
Just keep me posted. Oh, you said right now? Just go for it?
Do anything. Yes.
Yeah, but I want you to know one thing. You sound like you're in a wind tunnel.
That's okay.
You're not going to sound mellow. You're not going to sound mellow. You sound very like you're in a hallway.
That's okay. It's okay. Do it.
No, I want people to know that this is not going to be his real voice.
Yes, it is going to be his real
No,
voice.
Should I get my earphones? Is the earphones going to be better?
Get earphones. Get earphones. That'll probably be better.
I might have to leave for a second.
Okay, leave for a second, and then we'll.
I'll be right back.
All right, you guys.
We want you to sound your best.
Oh, Overboard. I'm gonna have him. We're gonna play the video for Overboard. Hopefully, we don't get shut off for doing it. But
right now he sounds very tinny.
He's fabulous, you guys. So
yeah,
you guys, let's tell him how we met him. So first of all, you guys, I actually have been following Stefano, and he was following me on Twitter for ever since he was on American Idol. So for many years, and we went to Rhonda Swan's party the other night, and for her book signing, she was our guest last week, and Stefano was the entertainment singing. And he was phenomenal, like unbelievable. And when I heard his voice, I was like, God, that sounds so familiar. And then I looked at him, I was like, he looks so familiar. And I was like, that's the dude from American Idol. And so it was very nice. He's super cool. He was super talented, and he's had an amazing career that continues to go forward. And we were super excited to meet him.
So that didn't work out because my wife has my earphones.
That's okay. Play something, because we're gonna play one of your videos later, and everybody will see what you sound like then too.
I'm bummed, man. I can't. I'm so mad. I sound like okay. So if you can hear me, if you get a vibe. Oh, so long for this night I prayed that a star
it's not working.
would guide you my way to share with meet this special day of ribbons in the sky for our love.
Yay! So that
It
was
does not sound like you when I heard you. So, folks, he sings far better than the sound. It's a very tin. It's a tinny sound. The sound is terrible. I don't even want you to sing because I don't want people to think
they know him
No,
already.
his
So that
voice-
was your audition song, right, for American Idol?
No.
Was it? No.
No. My audition song was "Heard It Through the Grapevine."
Oh, okay.
Ooh, I bet you're wondering how I knew.
So you guys, this is Stefano. How you? First of all, you can follow him on Instagram. It's at Stefano Music. So now I have a question about that real quick. So how did you come up with the idea to ditch your last name?
It was actually the record label I was with at the time, Hollywood Records. They ran it by me. They were like, "What do you think about just Stefano?" And I was like, "You know what? Like, I don't mind it, just because the 3-syllable names. Stefano Langone. I mean, that's a lot of syllables in there. So I was like, maybe we'll just break it down. We'll break it down in half, and people will figure it out. So still, there's some people that still call me by my first and last name, which is it's beautiful no matter what. But I think Stefano is a lot easier for most people.
I think it's
Now,
cool.
are you Italian or Spanish?
I'm both. I'm actually half and half.
So that Stefano is the Italian half. Stefano
Yes,
is
my father's
in Italian. It's Stefano.
Yes, in Italian it is Stefano, but there's something about Stefano in America that just it's too delicate. You know what I'm saying? There's something about Stefano that just it felt,
Stefano's more Brooklyn.
it just felt more like me. It's a little bit more rough around the edges, a little bit more like soulful Stefano, So that's just kind of what I just always went by.
I love it. Okay, so you're from Kent, Washington, or Bellevue, Washington? Which one?
I was born in Bellevue. I went to school in Bellevue, but I grew up in Kent.
And how did you actually get to? So you guys, I don't know if I told everybody. So you guys, he's season 10 American Idol. He came in 7th place. That's the American Idol with Jennifer Lopez, Steven Tyler, and Randy Jackson as the judges. How did you get to American Idol? Like, how did you be like, all right, I'm gonna go like audition for American Idol?
Man, it was crazy because I had gotten in a severe car accident a year before I ended up auditioning, and I was in a hospital for almost a month. I had plates and screws. I still had plates and screws all over my body, and but I survived. And I kind of knew I was here. I survived this crash for a reason, and I was kind of just in a weird funk in Washington. College student, barely making rent, lights flickering on and off every once in a while because you couldn't make all the payments. And it was like, what the hell am I doing? And I was at a random gig night in Kirkland. If anybody from Washington, Kirkland is it's like a sister city next to Bellevue. So I was doing this live night out there, and this random dude that I've never met before, he had sang also. He was more of like a Frank Sinatra impersonator, kind of like would do the whole thing. He was like, "Hey man, did you hear about the San Francisco? They're doing auditions." Now, all my family's from the Bay Area. My dad moved my mother and I up to Washington when the grunge, Nirvana, and all the
came out
going on in Washington, Seattle. So he moved up there for that whole movement because he's a musician as well. So anyways, all my family's in the Bay. He was like, "Yo, they're doing auditions. Let's go to San Francisco. If you drive, I'll pay for the gas." And I was like, "Deal." Literally left like 2 days later. And no joke, I went home to tell my parents. My parents didn't even believe me. They're like, "When are you leaving?" I'm like, "Now." They're like, "Okay, cool. Hit us when you figure it out. Hit us later when you're done hallucinating." So yeah, seriously, called my family from San Francisco after I got through the first auditions and then made it. And they were like, "You're kidding me. Are you serious?" So it's pretty crazy.
It's so cool because you know how all the reality shows, because we've had everybody, like tons of them.
Show that he's on, the one that Lily was on?
No, she was on X Factor. So all the different shows. That's the one that Simon Cowell was the founder. Like used to be the judge on Simon Cowell.
He was on the Simon Cowell
on the American Idol one. Well, Simon Cowell was on X Factor too, so I guess he was on both. But we
He's supposed to be a jerk.
So anyway, wait, so you know how they always have like a dramatic thing or whatever. So I remember in yours, you know, they talked about the car accident and they talked with your parents and how they didn't know if you were going to like live, and it was really a dramatic, you know, thing that they do on American Idol anyway. But it was such a cool story actually for people to be behind you, like, hey, you made it through it, and now
tell
you're
us
doing
a little
this.
bit about the accident. Why was it so severe?
First of all, it just highlighting like kind of the idol thing. One of my biggest pet peeves about that was they made it, you know, TV is beautiful this way. They make it like a sob story.
Right, of course.
It wasn't a sob story. It was
Right.
a story of perseverance and like, hey, I'm
coming out the other
I'm
side.
Here. Like I'm here.
Yes.
I'm going. Like you don't need to feel sorry for me. I'm alive. That's why I'm here. This is why I'm here. I'm doing what I love to do, and I want to go, and I'm ready to kick ass. And so the crash was so severe. It was 100-mile-an-hour impact of a crash, and that's what they rated as. They don't know for sure because the driver lost control at over 100 miles an hour, and he fishtailed a bit. And so they from the screeches and the tire marks, they calculated around 60 miles an hour. I was going 40 up a hill.
And where did he hit you, in the back?
No, it was head on.
Oh my God, head on at that
collision.
speed?
And he was drunk. He was
shit.
he was like 3 times over the legal limit. My leg was shoved into my body. Both arms were absolutely shattered. My head bashed out the my driver's side window. I have 10 staples in my head. When they got to the crash, they thought I had perished, and there was more chance of life in the other car because the driver, when he came and hit me coming down the hill, I was here and his girlfriend was in the other car, and we hit head on like that. The car came around. She went into a coma. She was brain damaged. I mean, half of her head was on the dashboard. I was when they got to the accident, I looked like I was gone. But really what happened, I passed out after looking at my arms. And so when the responders got there, you can only imagine, my car looks like something out of a horror film. My whole face is covered in blood because of the cut in my head, and I look like a mess. So, but they saved me. They got me out of the car, and they thought it was a lot worse than what it was. I didn't have any internal damage, which was a miracle. They thought I had, punctured lungs and all sorts of crazy stuff. I didn't even have whiplash, and it was a miracle.
I think
some story.
It really is a good story, and I think
the moral is don't drive drunk.
Don't drive drunk.
Yeah, that's terrible.
Don't be an asshole.
So you were in kind of like a controversial season of American Idol because of the Pia Toscano. So Pia Toscano has been on our show a couple of times. She's a lovely, lovely girl. Do you keep in touch with any of the American Idol people?
I keep in touch with Pia and Casey.
Okay, because you had some really good people in your group of people, and Pia's fabulous.
I just saw Haley at a wedding the other day. Like I see them all the time. I connect with different. Every once in a while, like Jacob Lusk is in a group right now. He's in the UK. He's killing it. We keep in touch. I kind of just check in on everybody. But P and I, we've done a lot of things together. We did a couple things in Vegas together that was sponsored by Caesar's Palace, Pepsi. We've done a couple of really cool things together. And Casey and I, he lives down the street from me. He's my, anytime he wants a good home cooked meal, he comes over, I cook for him. We'll make funny, TikTok videos and bullshit and laugh and, get drunk and hang out. Like it's hilarious. So,
so what do you cook? Do you cook Italian?
Oh yeah. Well, I cook. I'm a cook, but my
okay.
specialty. No one wants to come over for anything but the Italian. I always, pasta, salad, the whole nine. So
I love it. I think it's fantastic. So I was super excited to see you that night that we were at the event and that you were singing, and I heard the voice and I was like, God, it sounds familiar. And I looked at you and I was like, that's the dude from American Idol. And we've been following each other in social media. I loved it. So you were on Hollywood Records, and I think you've toured with Babyface, right?
yeah, I was touring with Babyface for 4 years. After, so I started with him in 2018, and then I kind of was like, you know what? I experienced so much. I learned so much. I wrote with him. I studied his whole thing. I owe him so much, just on an intellectual, level of just music and performance. And he had me. I'm on his album. I worked on TV shows with him. I did. I'm just so grateful for the experience that I was able to have on that tour.
So how did you actually meet Babyface?
Who's Babyface?
Okay, so Babyface is a huge singer-songwriter. I mean, huge, more from the 90s and early 2000s,
yeah, he's
right?
Honestly, he's top 5, greatest songwriters, American songwriters of all time. He's up there with David Foster, and
he's huge.
I mean,
but he also can sing and has had got
Yes.
Grammys and all kinds of stuff of
Yes.
his own. He's phenomenal.
What people don't understand is he's still getting plaques for Bruno Mars, Silk Sonic. He was a huge producer for all that stuff. Ariana Grande, Beyonce, Post Malone, Tinashe. I mean, the list is crazy. People don't know all the things that he does. He has his hands in everything.
That's so funny because we went to this really cool Valentine's Day.
Why do they call him Babyface?
That's his name.
But why?
Well,
He has a baby face?
His real name is Kenneth Edmonds, but
But does he have a baby face?
Yeah, he actually does have a baby face.
So that's why they call. Well, I like our listeners and viewers.
They all know who Babyface is.
Not all.
Hey, chat room, do you guys know who Babyface is? Let's see. So we went to this cool party. I'll see what they say. On Valentine's Day in LA on Melrose, and one of the people that we hung out with was Akon, and I had never met Akon before. He's really cool, and he drove up in a Rolls Royce or a Bentley, or
it was a Rolls.
Anyway, he's super duper successful, and so I've always listened to Akon, but I didn't know all the other. He's just like Babyface, he's the one who basically discovered Lady Gaga.
Yep.
And so you don't know that these people who are superstars, they've got their hands in so many phenomenal, successful things behind the scenes.
Yeah.
And so how did you actually meet him?
I was hosting a show in Hollywood. I know, in Beverly Hills at Sofitel. It's a spot, literally, they have a jam there. It's across the street from the Beverly Center. And I was there. I was hosting a show, live music, live band. Had no idea he was there. And I was just singing and bullshitting. And, you saw it. I'm talking shit and, doing the whole thing. Doing the whole Stefano thing, and all of a sudden I'm walking off stage, and his MD at the time, Nomad, he's like, yo, he's like this Brooklyn, Italian, Cuban dude, crazy guy. He was like, yo, hey, Stefano, yo. And I'm like, who the hell is this guy? And I was like, hold on, I was with some friends. I'm like, let me entertain this guy for a second. Give me a minute. And literally, he was like, yo, Babyface is? And I was like, yes. What's up, dude? Everybody's drunk. It's like one of those. I'm like, so skeptical. Also, Hollywood, everybody says that they know somebody. They are somebody. So it's always like, yeah, what's up? What's going on? And he's like, yo, Babyface is here. Babyface? I'm like, yes, I know Babyface. He's like, yo, he likes you, man. He wants you to sing for him. Can you come to the studio? And I was like, no, I can't come to the studio. I got this thing in Vegas I'm doing this weekend, whatever. I was like, maybe next week. He was like, all right, keep me, here's my card, whatever. So I ended up hitting him up, and they invited me to Center Staging. It's the most famous big, rehearsal studio in, LA. And I went there not knowing what to expect. Babyface was there. And I just sang songs for him. And he was like, can you get on a flight tomorrow? And I was like, yeah. So we had our first show in Memphis. Literally 4 days span, 5 day span. Didn't even really meet him. went to a show, and then I was like on a flight to Memphis for our first show. It was pretty crazy.
That's just sweet.
That's how it happens.
I love it though. I love the fact too that you're like all like grounded and like you're just like a normal guy who has such a phenomenal voice.
Let's hear about his wife. Who's your wife?
My wife is so much better than me.
Is she a singer?
Is she in the business?
Yeah, she is. She's an actress, dancer. I met her actually on stage. When I met her, she was doing burlesque dancing at the W Hotel in Hollywood. And
cool.
I mean, crazy. I have a video, the actual video of our first meeting, like the first, actual interaction between me and who now is my wife. It's pretty crazy. But I was like,
wait a minute, burlesque dancing, is that pole dancing?
No.
Like burlesque, like Christina Aguilera in the movie.
Yeah, exactly. It's Chicago, like that, like
Chicago,
like Minsky's burlesque.
Beautiful costumes and the whole thing.
Right, burlesque. I know, like Minsky's.
He's not gonna know Minsky's.
You don't know Minsky's. Minsky's was the first burlesque ever in New York years and years ago, and it was called Minsky's burlesque.
And how long ago did you guys meet?
We met 6 years ago.
Good for you. Congratulations.
Kids? Children?
Do you have any children?
No, not yet.
Not yet. They're young. He's really young though.
And you have a career happen. Yeah, well, you have a career. You got to hang on a little bit.
And she's working her ass off. She's auditions literally like every other day. We're just like keeping our fingers crossed. You never know where it's going to come from, but at some point, we're just like, we got to just keep on going. She's going to get something any day now. I already know it. And
is she in the room?
No, she's out working right now.
Because we would have put her on camera.
Yes, we could.
I wish.
We can get her on, so we love it.
Well, yeah, but if she got on the camera, I would just have to leave because it's not there,
So you have a new single called "Overboard." Tell us a little bit about it. You just released it like the day that we met you, I think.
My wife is actually in the video.
Oh, cool! So we'll get to see her because we're gonna play it for everybody.
In the video, so you check that out. Overboard, it's on YouTube. You can check it out.
Hopefully they don't throw us off the air again.
So we're gonna try to play it. Don't go anywhere. If everybody like in the chat room, if the video goes away, that means YouTube flagged us. But stay, because once the video's over, we'll be back.
I think this is communism at its worst.
We're gonna play it though. We're gonna play it.
Censoring us—that's bullshit. It's your video. You gave us permission, so why can't we use it?
So tell us a little bit about the song, and then after you tell us a little bit, just announce it. And after you announcement, our fabulous engineer Juan is going to play it so everybody can see it and hear it.
Thanks, man.
And then we'll get back.
So the song is the first of 3 songs that I'm releasing for like this summer. It's like my little summer campaign before I work on my album. I have a all live. What you guys saw, that Sinatra, the fedora, the vibes, the strings, and the big horns. Right now, this is kind of like, I'm getting my feet wet. I'm going to throw some songs out that I love, that I've written over the years. This is the first one. It's like the real sulky, sultry, sexy vibe that I wrote about my wife. We have, she's in the music video. It's really dope. Again, it's really sexy. It's chill. And it's one of those bedroom tracks. The next couple tracks aren't like that, but this one's definitely like, it's the vibe.
Okay, let's go there. Let's see it.
All right, everybody. This is Overboard by Stefano.
I'm tripping and I'm waving. You blur my point of view. Decisions gone hazy. The things you make me do. Sitting back, loving when you're looking back. forever now and later. I'm faded by the truth. On the right feeling that, oh my God, give me that. I don't mind sitting back, loving when you're looking back. Yeah, yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, yeah, oh yeah. On the vibe, getting out every morning, every night. Body on top of my feeling from the inside. Yeah, yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. So far, but I'm right here next to you. Right here next to you. Right time. Oh, but I'll break that down for you. Break that down for you. Yeah, yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Oh, God, I'm in love for you. Yeah, yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Oh, God, I'm in love for you. Yeah, yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Oh, God, I'm in love for you. God, oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
Dude, you got some voice, let me tell you. I mean, you really do. Your falsetto is so freaking sick. It's not even funny.
Thank you. That's
I
kinda
love it.
That's kind of like the one thing that I got that I don't think anybody else has, and that's kind of my one thing that I like to put in a lot of my songs. Is that falsetto that you got that fire.
Yeah, what makes me I fucking love it.
That juice, baby.
I absolutely love it because falsetto is like my favorite thing, and that's the hardest to do, and hardly anybody can do it like that. I mean, a lot of people
And
try.
Jimmy tries.
A lot of people try.
When
Frankie
sometimes
Valli.
when Jimmy
Yes.
has earphones on, there's a song playing. Of course, I can't hear the song. All I hear is Jimmy. I thought, Jesus Christ, I thought he had a heart attack. No, I thought he was in pain. Something happened.
love it,
killing him.
bro.
Give us a little bit, Jimmy.
love it. No, I'm not going to give
Come
you.
on, give us a little. Let
Yeah,
them
come on,
hear.
Jimmy, a little bit. Come
Wait,
on,
I
man.
want you to hear Jimmy's
hear it,
full
let's
set.
hear it.
I'll put it on TikTok.
No. Give us
No,
a full. Come
stop
on,
it.
don't be a jerk.
So I have a question. So what is your wife Italian or Latin?
No. You think she's? You know what? It's an interesting story.
She's very beautiful. Ask her
we-
you.
We don't really know.
Oh, really? Okay.
You know what? And I try to just I'm being chill about it, but grandpa and grandma and the whole thing, they're very secretive. I don't they're in some societies, they were like a little close to the mob and stuff. So I don't, I
Okay.
try to just keep I don't ask too many questions, Jimmy. I'm not trying to get hey, I love your daughter, your granddaughter. You don't gotta tell me nothing else.
You
That's
got it. See,
fine.
Ron has that kind of a background too, so he knows all those people too. So okay, we'll go with
You know what I
that.
mean?
She's gorgeous. She's absolutely.
Where's she
she's
from?
absolutely
Where's she
beautiful.
from?
She's from Florida.
No, where is she from originally?
She's from Florida. She was born and raised in Florida.
Well, her family can't be from Florida.
Yeah, her family is actually from New York.
Yeah, where?
I believe Buffalo. They call her grandfather Buffalo Bill.
Okay, so different people than I know everybody from the boroughs.
You know what's funny? One of the first times that I met her grandparents. This is a true story. I was cooking for the whole family. I was doing my sauce, my red sauce, making a bunch of food. And I was like, Grandma, we don't know much about, I brought up some things and I go, where did this Buffalo Bill thing come from? Like, where did this, name come from? And she goes, she started cracking up and she goes, they're really good people. They just did bad things.
At least
and
she
I
didn't.
was like, Grandma, excuse me? What did you say that again, please? What is going on here? No, it was hilarious. But
Hey, at least she didn't say he was related to the Silence of the Lambs story.
No.
Okay, so here's some hypothetical questions for you. So you've already toured with Babyface. If you were gonna go if you were going to go on tour and you could go on tour with anybody ever living or dead, who would you want to go on tour with?
Woo! Man, that's a great question.
Okay.
With a whole symphony, a whole band like
It
that.
could be anything you want. It could be anybody you
Like,
want.
whatever happened to Madonna? Does anybody give a damn about her anymore?
Well, he wouldn't because he's an R&B singer.
Kinda. I mean, honestly, for me, it's like a mix. It would be like Frank Sinatra, like, Bobby Darin, the Frankie Vallis of the world, like that. And then on the flip side, somebody like, when I grew up, it was like Usher was like somebody that was like, wow, like what an incredible performer, what an amazing, Michael Bublé,
I love Michael
these guys
Bublé.
that use the music. I mean, use the symphonies and the textures of like the sounds and like not just up there singing the tracks and shit, but like, I love that. I love the presentation is so important to me, but like Justin Timberlake there's so many great people out there, and I think in the next year or so, I'm going to be on one of those tours.
Absolutely. So we actually, we've had like Earth, Wind and Fire. We've had Kool and the Gang. We've had some really great, people. I mean, they're a little bit older for you because you're young.
We had Chicago. These are groups
we had
that I had
Saida
in
Garrett. We had some really cool,
They're from my day.
singers. And you could also go though. You consider yourself really like R&B kind of like, don't you? Well, for your own music, you're R&B.
Yeah, it's like an R&B vibe, but honestly, like, wait till the next couple songs. Like this Overboard was very like R&B driven. I mean, that's that like Babyface, that's those influences. The next couple songs are a lot more pop, big sound, lots of cool different instruments. And it's gonna throw you a curve. So I'm really excited about it. And it's a good precursor to kind of like the intro to the next thing, And but the great thing about what I do and what I love all music. I'm not pigeonholed into anything. I could do it all. I could sing like what you guys saw the other night. I could sing Silk Sonic. I could sing Frank Sinatra. I could sing Prince. I could sing, I love all of it. And I love expressing myself in those ways. So this is kind of like my R&B pop thing. I'm getting it out of the way this summer. I'm having fun. I'm doing these music videos, which is super cool. And then now I'm going to pivot into like, again, that live strings, the horns, the vibe, the whole presentation, the fedora, the suit, the Sinatra.
I love that. Ron loves that too.
So yeah, I'm excited.
There was no music like the music from then. I mean, Glenn Miller or any of those musicians were wonderful. Today, it's a lot of noise.
It's a lot of noise.
I find it's a lot of noise.
I agree. I agree with you.
So when you were on American Idol, then what was out of the songs that you sang? What was your favorite one?
That's a great question. I think it would have to be "Lately" by Stevie Wonder.
Yeah, that's my favorite.
If You Don't Know Me By Now, you know that one?
Yeah, I know the Simply Red version.
Yeah. If you don't know me by
now. Yeah, that's fabulous.
I would sing it lower. I could never go up there.
You can't. No.
If you don't know me by now, croon it out.
I love it.
Or the wild card song. What is it? I Need You Now.
Yeah.
By Smokey Norfolk. I think that one, I don't think anybody had really sang like a true gospel song on Idol ever before, other than like the, very, I think, part of my French, but like more played out songs that are
right,
like poppy, but like also gospel. So like,
because I didn't actually even know that. I can remember that I didn't even know that song. I didn't even know what that song was.
Very few people do. I mean, it's more of definitely
What song?
What's the name of the song again?
I Need You Now by Smokey Norfolk. It's a very, very gospel-y, real church song. I mean, it's church song, and it's one of the songs that I listened to when I got in the accident. It was one of those songs that a friend had shown me when, I was in a wheelchair, and, God, my faith, And music like that was something that, I mean, music like I remember really when I was in the accident, Bob Marley, Feeling Good. And back then I was like smoking weed. I was like started smoking weed when I was like in a wheelchair. I'm like, damn, this is pretty fun. I was like listening to Bob Marley, gospel music, and like, you know, my parents playing like Sade and like very cool.
I love Sade.
Ease music, like all just very like relaxing, cool. But like definitely some of the gospel music, I Need You Now was a song that was very marquee song for me and just like getting through that time. And when they asked me for the wild card, hey, what song would you do? That was one of the songs that I sang during Hollywood Week, and they didn't air it. So I was like,
oh, okay.
Let me sing that one. Like, you guys didn't air it. Like, let me sing it. And it all worked out.
So I want to tell everybody, too, you guys can go to StefanoMusic.com because he's got a bunch of music videos on his website that you can see. I don't know if they're on YouTube also, but it's easy to find all of them right there on his website.
Right
go
there.
ahead.
Yep.
I'm not getting it. Did you win this show?
No, he came in 7th place.
Oh,
I came in lucky number 7. Okay, Jennifer Hudson came in 7th place. So I would like to throw that in there.
Oh, so Jennifer Hudson was in the show with you?
No, a different season.
Different season.
Ron didn't watch the show. I watched it religiously.
You're hurting my feelings, man.
You know why I hate that show? And I can't get into names. A very good friend of mine who I love and adore.
That's X Factor.
I know. A friend of mine who I love and adore should have won because her voice is incredible. But she wouldn't fuck one of the guys on the board. And he threw her off. And that's why I hate those shows. He wanted to bang her. She said no, and she lost. And this woman today has a voice that came from heaven. I won't give her name, but she is fabulous.
We've had, though, a ton of American Idol contestants, like Nikki McKibben back in the day has been on several times. Justin Guarini's been on.
Yeah.
I've always loved all the seasons. I don't actually watch it now. I really just watch. I like to watch the auditions because I like to see people audition.
Well,
like in The Voice, I watched the audition, but it's not the same as it was back then.
No.
You know, it's just not the same show as it was.
When people ask me if they should do it, I usually say no. And I only say that because, especially if they're young, especially if they really have something to give, those types of shows are takers. They don't give you much, they take. And
absolutely.
I think a lot of Hollywood is like that. And, you know, I'm very, very, very grateful to still be in Hollywood, doing what I love to do. That's all I've ever done since I got off Idol, and I've been very lucky. But you got to think, there have been how many seasons now? 20 seasons or however many top 10s. Okay, let's just throw out 150. You can maybe throw out 5 of them. I'm not in that either. But you maybe throw out 5 of them, and most of them, 90% of them, 95% of them, all went back home. They're all doing other things. Not everybody's still in music. So it's something that, you know, when you go on those shows, you're bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, and just want to give your art, want to go out there and spread your music. And, you know, now it's a different time. You can use social media. When I got on it, social media was just coming in. So it was very difficult to, break through.
I think those shows are very opportunist and very, very sad because they are. These people, most of them are auditioning. And the rejection is terrible. To be publicly rejected.
Oh, hang on. We got to go, though. We got to go.
So
real quick, I was going to say the only ones I really still, you know, that I follow, because I follow everybody in social, like Pia Toscano and Catherine, who obviously she married David Foster, you know, Kelly Clarkson. I mean, there's only a handful of them that you can really, Clay Aiken once in a while. I mean, there just aren't that many of them. So I'm happy that you're still around. We're happy you came on the show. Let me know when you release the new music. I got some projects for you I want to talk about soon. We want to thank you for coming on the show and wish you and your wife the best of everything.
Yeah. And looking forward to hearing you sing Frank Sinatra.
Hey, you'll hear it. You'll hear it.
Can't wait.
I enjoyed it at what's the face's
Rhonda's party.
Rhonda's party. I said to Jimmy, thank God there's decent music here.
Yeah, we all loved it. I loved it, but I think you sang Bruno Mars better than Bruno Mars. But we got to go.
All the singing was good. I usually they have crappy crappy music.
And we give props to your keyboard player. He was good too.
I will.
Yeah.
I will, man.
All right. Thank you
guys
so much,
We'll
Stefano. We'll talk to you later.
Take
Bye bye.
care, Stefano.
See you guys.
All right. Hey, everybody. Thanks so much for
Ciao,
tuning
Bella.
in. Hope you loved our guest today. We had a great time with both of them, Steve Bacic and Stefano. Juan, our engineer, thank you so much. Chat room, thank you. We'll see you guys next week. Bye.
Keep it happy.
Sunlight can turn out to be so wrong. Yeah, we in the mix. Yeah, we in the mix. It's another episode. Here we go. The Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell. Interviewing the hottest, newest, and truest of today's celebrities. Make sure to subscribe so you can get notified weekly. Jimmy Star, he's the king of cool. Ron Russell, he's a gorgeous dude. Chat room is live and you would be a fool not to vibe with us at the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell. So come watch it live on W4CY Radio. Miss some past episodes? Download on iTunes. The Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell. It's the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell.